So with that, I want to bring in my panel. Susan Hendricks is a longtime TV journalist and author of Down the Hill, My Descent into the Double Murder in Delphi. Jesse Weber is an attorney, a NewsNation legal contributor and friend of the show. And Lindsay Haller is a producer on my upcoming podcast, Drop Dead Serious. She's also been covering this Delphi case since the beginning. And lucky Lindsay, she got into the courtroom today, but not everybody did. And she couldn't get in every day either. She couldn't give consistent reporting either, like basically everyone else. Thank you to the three of you for being here and helping me get off like the ledge, because I'm so frustrated by this system. This is our system, and it's we're relegated to a lot of guesswork. I'll get to that in a minute. I'll get to the dark justice. Susan, I'm going to begin with you. Did the jury get this one right?
They got it right, but I want to go back to how you were describing this. It was on point, and you can't describe it. I was trying to describe it to my parents. You have to run in, you don't really get in, and but Judge Skull, she wanted to leave out the circus, but you can't do that by locking the doors. You're absolutely right. It was like Lord of the Flies every single day. That's half the day. Then you get in, and you don't want to complain about it because the families are there. I digress. I think they got it right. I was outside when it happened, and I got emotional. I thought, guilty. Oh my gosh. So I thought it was coming in a little bit later. And when I heard it, I was emotional. I was with one of Libby's 8th grade friends. She was with me earlier in the day. She said, hey, I want to drop a bracelet off at Libby's grave. It's 5 minutes from here. Will you come with me? I said, absolutely. That's where I was when I got the text verdict. I said, we got to go. She floored it, and we were there. And I texted her tonight. I said, what did the bracelet say? And she said, lucky one. There's the picture I took. And, I wouldn't have rather been any other place than there. But I knew I wasn't getting in today. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to go with her. Let's see. But I wasn't even sure a verdict, Ashleigh, was going to come down today. But I think they got it right.
Well, Lindsay and I were talking over the weekend, and the press wasn't even privy to when questions were being asked. We don't know. We have no idea if this jury asked questions. That is absolutely appalling. If the jury was asking questions that gave us some insight into a problem in the process, would be nice to know, wouldn't it? Since we potentially are about to send a man to prison for 130 years. Lindsay, lucky is going to be the word of the night, only because you got lucky. And how tragic is it that I have to say you were just lucky to be in the court to actually witness this moment? So explain to me what you saw with Richard Allen and his wife and sister in the gallery when the verdict was read.
The verdict was read. The judge read it out very quickly. It was quiet. There was about 30 law enforcement officers that were ready to take out anyone that let out any type of reaction out loud, anything like that. As the guilty verdicts were coming out, his wife started, like you said, doubled over and started crying heavier and heavier. And actually, whenever Richard Allen mouthed to her, "It's okay," or "Are you okay?" or whatever, I think he said, "It's going to be okay," or "It's okay." And she shook her head no. And then he looked forward.
Well, and it's a good thing that we had you in there, because even what we're rolling right now on the side, this is file video. We don't even know what he looks like right now. We don't know if he's put on a bunch of weight. The public is really flying blind in the execution of this justice. Jesse Weber, when you went to law school, I'm sure that this wasn't what you expected. I'm sure that you didn't think that the public would be shut out of a public process. This is why America's great. We have transparent justice. I have been to countries where it is not so. I saw gulag justice and hooded justice in Iraq and Afghanistan. I have seen the way it can be. I'm starting to feel that way now. And I'm assuming this isn't the norm that you're used to.
Talking to a guy who covers live trials all the time. Am I biased? Yes. But by a constitutional right, the public and the media should know what our justice system looks like, particularly with criminal trials. And let me tell you what happens when you shut off the public, when you shut off cameras, when you don't allow any information to come out. People come out with conspiracy theories. They come out with rumors. And that is incredibly dangerous. The first time I saw that in cases like the Harvey Weinstein trial, when we were the last line of defense, reporters in that courtroom actually being like stenographers, trying to give a play-by-play of what was happening. Because if you didn't have the opportunity to have cameras in there, we're the only way to do that. And having cameras in there, having people explain what's happening in that case, it is so imperative. I think it's an injustice. And unfortunately, this gag order, no cameras, they're going to stay in there through the sentencing. And I get the counter argument, right? You don't want to jeopardize Richard Allen's rights because he might have an appellate issue. He might be convicted and then raise some issue about somebody saying something or a piece of information being leaked. I get it. But at the same time, with so much at stake in this case and so much interest in this case, I think we all had a right to know what was going on.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.